My name is Antonio Hendrickson, and I'm the founder of Lead by Example and Reverse the Trend. Public Safety Youth Development or Young Adults Development. The purpose of this workshop is to raise awareness, is to educate. That's what it's about, to raise your consciousness and to educate. What does education look like? Education look like this. The word educate. Educate means to draw out the best in you. Each one of you got power, meaning the potential to be whatever you want to be. Each one of you have the ability to create, to destroy, and to deliver or save yourselves. You have that power, right? And that is called potential. Potential is a latent excellence, capable of becoming, possible but not yet actual, having the capacity for existence but not yet existent. It's power that is dormant. And what we want to do in this group is awaken that power and give you the power to make decisions, rational and conscious decisions when it comes to conflict. Because we're going to confront conflict every day in our life. Every day we wake up, life is going to present challenges. And the ultimate measurement of a man is not where he stands in times of convenience or comfort, but where he stands in times of challenges. That's how you're measured. You know your weakness when you're persecuted. That's when you know you're weak, that you have weak things about you. But that is not for us to succumb to. That is for us to be aware of and then take those things that are weak in our character and build and make them strong. This is what it's about. I did over 20-some years in the federal penitentiary. I went to jail when I was 19, 20 years old. When I came home, I was a grown man, 40-something years of age. I walked in the penitentiary with killers. I never was robbed, raped, molested, or extorted. I didn't run with no Ku Klux gang or group. Because in the penitentiary, everybody's a potential killer. That's why the respect level is so high. That principle don't carry just in there. And principles are rules of action. That's carried into the streets. In a court of law, you have a right to remain silent. In prison, or in the streets, silent is the rule. Because when I don't open my mouth, nobody can look into my mind. And I become a question mark. Which and the word for that is an enigma. I'm strange. And so nobody gonna mess with you. But out here, right, and some people that go to prison, they do this. And they create problems for themselves. So I don't want you to create no more problems. Because right now you're young and you have your whole life in front of you and you're on probation. So what we want to do is equip you with the tools. We want to put something in your toolbox. Tools are used to build things and to take things down. And the more tools you have in your box that you can reach for when you confronted with a situation, the better the outcome will be for your life. So I brought my partner here today. It's somebody I know for a long time. And his story is compelling, it's interesting, and I am so happy that he called me and said, "Lo, I want to come and talk to the youth." Because what he got to say today, man, is going to touch you. It's going to wake you up. Because when he tell you his story, he was your age, but he wasn't on probation. And I'm going to leave that to him. But before we get to him, I just want to read something about being successful. In order for you and I to be successful in life, we have to take 100% responsibility over our lives. We have to do that. Have you ever took 100% responsibility for the decisions you made? Never. Have you? Not. Have you? Have you? Have you? You know what? I love that, because honesty is the best policy. Because the greatest lie that we can tell is the one we tell ourselves. And every time we lie to ourselves, we deteriorate our character. So right now, you are a man of character, a woman of a character, a man of integrity, because you told the truth. But let me read to you a little bit about what happens when we don't take 100% responsibility for our lives, and where does that lead us. One of the most pervasive myths in American culture today is that we are entitled to a great life. That somehow, somewhere, someone, certainly not us, is responsible for filling our lives with continued happiness, exciting careers, options, nourishing family time, and blissful personal relationships simply because we exist. But the real truth, and the one lesson this whole book is based on, and this book is called The Success Principle, is that there is only one person responsible for the quality of the life you live. That person is you. If you want to be successful, you have to take 100% responsibility for everything that you experience in your life. This includes the level of your achievement, the results you produce, the quality of your relationships, the state of your health and physical fitness, your income, your debt, your feelings, everything. You have to take 100% responsibility for. This is not easy. In fact, most of us have been conditioned to blame something outside of ourselves for the part of our life we don't like. We blame our parents, our bosses, our friends, the media, our co-workers, our clients, our spouse, the weather, the economy, the astrological chart, or lack of money, anyone or anything we can pin the blame on. We never want to look at where the real problem is, ourselves. There is a wonderful story told about a man who is out walking one night and come upon another man down on his knees looking for something under a street lamp. The passerby inquires as to what the other man is looking for. He answered that he is looking for his lost key. The passerby offered to help and get down on his knees and help him search for the key. After an hour of fruitless searching, he says, "We have looked everywhere for it and we haven't found it. Are you sure you lost it out here?" The other man replied, "No, I lost it in my house. But there is more light out here under the lampstand." It is time to stop looking outside yourselves for the answers to why you haven't created the life and the results you want. For it is you who creates the quality of life you lead and the results you produce. You and no one else. To achieve major success in life, to achieve those things that are most important to you, you must assume 100% responsibility. Nothing less will do. Now here's an example of what this guy, a friend of his who was a multi-millionaire, asked him a question. And the wisdom, his answer, and the wisdom that he gave him, or the education that he gave him, opened the door to what we will call unlimited progress, because it turned on a light and he embraced it. Check it. As I mentioned in the introduction, back in 1996, only 1 year out of graduate school, I had the good fortune to work for W. Clement Stone. He was a self-made millionaire worth $600 million at the time. And that was long before all the dot-com millionaires came along in the 90s. Stone, also American premier success guru, he was the publisher of Success Magazine, author of Success System That Never Fails, and co-author with Napoleon Hill of Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. When I was completing my first week orientation, Mr. Stone asked me if I took 100% responsibility for my life. "I think so," I responded. "This is a yes or no question, young man." You either do or you don't. Have you ever blamed anyone for any circumstance in your life? Have you ever complained about anything? Huh? Yeah, I guess I have. Don't guess. Think. Yes, I have, he says. Okay then. That means you don't take 100% responsibility for your life. Taking 100% responsibility means you acknowledge that you create everything that happened to you. It means you understand that you are the cause of all your experiences. If you want to be really successful, and I know you do, then you will have to give up blaming and complaining and take total responsibility for your life. That means all your results, both your successes and your failures. That is the prerequisite for creating a life of success. It is only by acknowledging that you have created everything up until now that you can take charge. That you can take charge of creating the future you want. I'm going to say that again. It is only by acknowledging that you have created everything up until now that you can take charge of creating the future you want. You see, Jack, and he's talking to this guy. If you realize that you have created your current condition, then you can uncreate them and recreate them at will. Do you understand? Yes, sir, I do. Are you willing to take 100% responsibility for your life? Yes, sir, I am. And I did. And he's successful. The guy wrote major books, and he's making major money, major million dollar deals. So I say all that to say this, man. I practice this principle. I don't blame nobody or nothing that happened in my life. I take 100% responsibility for everything happened in my life. Why? Because I have a creative imagination, I have an independent will, I have self-awareness, and I know right from wrong, and I live in a universe of cause and effects. When I commit crimes, I went to trial, I lost, I took that. I didn't blame nobody. I didn't blame my mother, I didn't blame God, I didn't blame nothing. Because I'm the cause of everything that happened in my life. And now when I started doing that, brother, you know what happened? I started making other decisions to recreate myself and move myself from negative results to positive results. And I'm going to tell you right now, since I've been home and understanding that principle and taking 100% responsibility over my life, failures and success, my fault, you know what happened? My life and it fares a lot better. My program is in several schools. It's in this place, other department, other branches of the Department of Probation. It's in a federal detention facility. And I got people on my staff that's working. And I'm what they call an ex-con in some people's mind, but a returning citizen that spent most of your life in prison and did this in a matter of years, 2 and 3 years. Just want you to know, 100% responsibility, man. So if you ever go out and pick up a gun, you pick up a knife to solve a conflict that you can resolve by thinking through it and looking at it for what it is, and that it's not even worth it unless your life is in the balance. Then you got to defend your life. But if you do that, and whatever happened to you, man, that's on you. Don't ask for no help. Don't get a lawyer. Don't call your mother. Don't do nothing. Take responsibility for the decision you make. This is what I'm saying. If you're going to be big enough to be a man or a woman and make decisions that's counterproductive, then whatever come behind it, handle it. That's what I'm saying. That's all. That's what this is about. To make you aware. Because it's not worth it. The most important person in this room is you. There will never be another one of you. There will never, no, we can't get you back if we lose your life. Your life is sacred and it's valuable. And the person sitting next to you, his life or her life is sacred and valuable. And we have no right to take it or bring no harm to it. We should never be the aggressor in words or action, but in the event we are attacked, then we got to do what we got to do. I don't believe in turning the other cheek. You hit me, I have a right to hit you back. Especially if I didn't initiate that. Do you understand? I can, by choice, pardon and forgive you, if I so choose. But what I believe in the law of cause and effects. And I believe only way that you can escape the consequences of error, you got to what? Through true repentance and reform. Repentance only means that, no, you know what? I was unjust to myself. I was wrong myself. I'm not going to do that no more. That's not right. And then you change your thinking. You change your mind. You change your attitude. You change your direction. And guess what? Whatever karma you sent out, don't come back to you. It goes away. But trust me, you live in this universe of cause and effects. And there's a book by a man named James Allen called As a Man Thinketh, So Is He. So whatever you think and whatever you sow in the soil of your soul, it's going to germinate later on in your personality. It's going to come back to you in your life. I learned that. It's nothing spooky about that. You have physical, you have mental and spiritual counterpart. It's real. The unseen is not the unreal. The unseen is the mental, emotional condition in the atmosphere generated by the agency of a physical body. Whatever energy that's being moved out here is coming from thinking people or machines called computers. But nevertheless, it's generating. And your brain is a receiver and a transmitter. So even while you sleeping or when you walking, there's thoughts and energies bombarding your mind. So you need to be on guard about what you hear, what people say to you. That's why I told you last week, it's better to be alone and be in the wrong company. A mirror reflects a man's face, but who that man really is based on the people he chooses to be his best friends.